Hey there everybody, welcome back. Thanks for tuning in again. I am primarily a revolver enthusiast, hence my YouTube channel's name, Mystery Wheel Gunner. But I am also, by extension, a hand cannon enthusiast. And so we've got today's video. No, it is not a wheel gun, but it is a hand cannon. So let's go ahead and do the pseudo unboxing. I say pseudo unboxing because I had already taken this gun out and unboxed it, but we'll just go through the motions again. So it is a Desert Eagle Mark 19 from Magnum Research. And yes, I got the one in black cherry. Yeah, it's a satin cherry, so it's not gloss, which I kind of like. All right, let's do the safety check. The big magazine is empty, and that huge chamber is empty. So yes, this one is in 50 AE. Forgive the little oil splotches there. That's just oil. That's not the finish. There it is, 50 AE. For those who don't know, the Desert Eagles are actually available in 4 different chamberings. 357 Magnum, 44 Magnum, 429 DE, which is pretty much gone by now. That is a very obscure cartridge, even from the beginning, unfortunately, because I thought it was kind of a neat idea, but that's neither here nor there. And of course, it is available in probably its most famous chambering, the 50 AE. That stands for 50 After Earth. So yes, this is the sequel to Titan AE. No, that is not correct. 50 AE stands for 50 Action Express. All right. So you get this nice form-fitting case. You get, well, hang on. Let me go ahead and, you know it's empty. Let me go ahead and drop that hammer. All right. Nice form-fitting case. It only comes with 1 mag, though. You'd think they'd at least put 2 in, considering the cost of this gun. But you do have space for another mag right here, but it only comes with 1. What the heck? It's almost like they're mocking you, you know, or like giving you that hint, hey, spend more money so you can fill up this space here. Anyway, it comes with this little packet of goodness. We'll just go ahead and spill that out. That didn't work too well. Anyway, the stuff that fell on the floor, just 2 things. All right. Now that I've gotten them off the floor, so we've got this thing. Do not attempt to operate the firearm without reading the enclosed manual. You have been warned. Here is the instruction manual, the thing that we usually don't read. Oh, look at that, serendipity in action. I opened it to this page because you're going to want to make sure it comes with this, your universal 5-in-1 cleaning tool. All right, that's this thing right here. This should come with the gun. If you don't see it in this little packet, look underneath the foam. The top foam is loose, so you know, lift up on a corner and see if it's underneath there. On the older ones, the bottom foam will also be loose, so look underneath there. On the newer ones, this bottom foam is pretty much stuck there. Anyway, make sure you get this. You don't really need this for routine maintenance, but for a takedown of the entire gun, for that, you know, for that deep cleaning, you're going to need this little tool. So manual, little tool, all the rest of this stuff is just the paperwork, propaganda stuff. The all-important gun lock that I know all of us use. And check it out, a pocket version of the US Constitution. That's kind of neat. And yeah, I know you can always go online and, you know, read the Constitution there, but it's kind of neat to have this here. And check it out. It even has the pre-Constitution, the Articles of Confederation. Yes, that's right. Before the U.S. Constitution, there were the Articles of Confederation. So that's in this book as well. Pretty neat to include in here. While the form-fitting foam is a nice little touch, gives it a little bit more class, I do have one little criticism, and that is because many of the Desert Eagles now are coming with an optics rail. And if you put your optic on here, well, then it's not going to fit in here anymore, now is it? So you're either going to have to come in here and cut away at the foam to fit your optic, or you're going to have to get a new case altogether. It would have been nice if they had that pluck, you know, that pluck it as you fit it foam right here, and maybe move this down a little bit more, down and over, so that even after you pluck your foam out, you still have like a little layer of protection there. Just a little nitpick. It's still pretty nice to have the form-fitting foam, but they should have had the little bit of thought. Should put a little bit more thought into the fact that it has a rail and people are going to put stuff on it. So how does this gun work? Well, it is a rotating bolt, gas-operated, piston-driven handgun. That's right, a handgun. Normally when you say rotating bolt, gas-operated, piston-driven, usually you're thinking, you know, some sort of rifle or, you know, some sort of carbine. But no, this is a handgun. So how does this work? Well, if you can see in there, see right there, that is the gas port. So when you fire the gun, some of the gas goes into that gas port, passes through a channel right underneath the bore, and that gas is dumped into that front chamber right there. And then that gas pushes right there on the piston and drives the slide back to extract, and also to bring it back, recock the hammer, and of course the recoil springs, push it forward, and put the gun into battery. So, you know, let's just go through it here. Of course it's empty, but let's say it's loaded. Bang! All right. Gas now is tapped. Some of the gas is tapped off, goes into that little channel. Of course, most of the gas pushes the bullet out, but some of it goes here, pushes on that piston, and recocks the gun. Well, drives this back, cocks the hammer, spits out the spent brass, the empty case, and then strips another round off the top of the magazine, and we're ready to do it all over again. Takedown of the gun is actually pretty simple for just basic cleaning. Obviously, drop the magazine out, inspect the chamber, make sure it is empty. I love how open the gun is. It's almost like a Beretta, you know, the Beretta 92, when that slide comes back and that top is just open. Very easy to see inside that chamber. So we are empty, and all you're going to do is from this side of the gun, you're going to push on this button right here. And then on the other side, you're going to rotate the takedown lever down. Now, the barrel is going to be under a little bit of spring pressure, so it is going to pop out. So make sure it doesn't drop onto the floor or anything. So I'm going to push from this side and then rotate the lever onto this side. You can see the barrel comes out just like that. So yeah, the gas tube I was talking about earlier, it is integral to the barrel. So there is no gas tube. The passage is, you know, built in, so to speak. And then here's the slide right here. Here's the dual recoil springs. Here's that piston right there at the top or at the front. All you do is slide the slide forward. Now as you slide this forward, the recoil spring will come out. So there's not a whole lot holding it in there, so make sure that it doesn't fall or anything. All right, there we go. The recoil spring assembly is the thing that pins the piston in place. So once the dual recoil spring comes out, the piston will just easily come out. So make sure this doesn't drop on the floor or anything once you take this assembly out. Putting it back together, pretty simple. The piston, you can see the stem is shaped a certain way. And you'll notice there is a tab here on the recoil spring assembly. So obviously the tab is going to go in here, okay? And obviously the tab can only go in here when the piston's stem is rotated in a certain direction. So there's really only one way that this is going to go together. So do not force it. If the recoil spring tab does not go in there, then you just got to rotate that piston until the tab does fit in there. You'll know it's fitted in there because once you hold the recoil assembly in place, that tab should also stay in place. All right, this is the only fairly tricky part. When you're putting it back together, the recoil springs go into those recesses right there. So one is for one spring, the other is for the other spring. So it mostly aligns itself, but it can be a little tricky first couple times you do this, especially when you're trying to line it up all nice for the camera. It just goes in there. Usually it just self-aligns, but just make sure you really do get it in there correctly. All right. And it looks like I did just that. It's kind of dark. Let me go ahead and get my auxiliary lighting just to make sure I got it right. And yes, I did. The springs are in the recesses. Just like that. Whoa, whoa, whoa. See what happens when you got to perform in front of a camera? Almost disaster there. All right, let's do this again. Tab goes in there. Slide goes back in. There it is. Spring is in the recesses. Let's just verify. Yes, they are. Let's go ahead and put this together before I have an oopsie. Barrel will just drop in like that, and then you're just going to push it into place. There we go. And then, as you push back on the barrel, rotate your lever back up into lock. You will hear that click, and Desert Eagle is ready to rock and roll. As of the making of this video, the outer edges of Hurricane Helene are helping to water my lawn and everyone else's lawn around me. So it might be a little bit before I can get to the range. Sure, I can go to the indoor range, but I'll wait till it clears up and I can go to the outdoor range. So look for that footage coming soon.